All right, we're going to jump out of this for a second. There was a press conference happening in the Russell County Sheriff's Office where Sheriff Heath Taylor is talking about a drug bust that happened just recently. So let's tune in there.
County was working with Muscogee County on a narcotics investigation. That investigation culminated with a search warrant that the SWAT team over here in Russell County served on January 9th at 807 Pine Hill Court here in Phenix City. There were two occupants of the residence, Marius Lucas Robinson and Jacob Alexander Robinson. They are brothers. Maurice is 34 years of age and Jacob is 33 years of age. Both black males, both lived at the residence of 807 Pine Hill Court. Once the SWAT team was able to secure the residence, we went in with a search warrant, and the investigators from both sheriff's offices were able to seize 26 pounds of marijuana, $2,100 in currency, a stolen weapon out of Columbus, Georgia, which was a Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm, and a 2017 Chevy Impala. Both individuals were charged with trafficking in marijuana, unlawful possession of a controlled substance, THC, as well as receiving stolen property. You can see in front of you that the operation that they were running was pretty significant for our area. I think there was also a seizure of marijuana in Columbus from him. I think total they got 12 or 13 pounds, so it's a total of about 38 pounds from this individual that's been seized in the last couple of weeks, and so it's a significant amount that you see. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, it's just marijuana. Well, just marijuana isn't just marijuana. You see the weapons that have been seized over here and in Columbus, and so it's not just marijuana when you're talking about somebody who's been caught with a large amount like what he was selling. Typically, they're selling other things than marijuana as well. He had THC in liquid form, which, for our perspective, we think that that's put on some type of pill or paper device, and it's easy for our kids to get a hold of. They put them on gummies and things like that that then targets our children, and so certainly that's something that concerns us as well. So it's not just marijuana. Joining me today is the lieutenant over the division from Muscogee County, the chief deputy, Larry Parker, and of course Sheriff Countryman. And so I will at this point turn it over to the sheriff for him to have some comments, and then we'll try to answer any questions that you may have.
Thanks, Sheriff. Sheriff Taylor said it best, that sometimes when we make these type of search warrants and we serve these type of warrants, that people say it's only marijuana. Well, wherever we find marijuana, we're going to find high-power weapons, and we're going to find other types of drugs also. And some of these search warrants are actually dangerous because there's a risk assessment that goes along with it. But at the end of the day, we want to have a safer Muscogee County, a safer Russell County. And at the end of the day, both sheriff's offices, we work hand in hand. We work well together, and we want safer counties, and we just want to send the message to all of these players out there that we know who you are. It's just a matter of time before we kick your door in and to make those communities and those neighborhoods and those counties safer. And so we look forward to the collaboration, and that there will be more collaborations. And we know that there are some bigger fish that are out there that we are looking at. And so I just want to let the dealers and those who are selling drugs in the community, to our children, and to other people, that we know who you are. We don't sleep, we don't rest, so don't get too comfortable. Thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir. At this time, we'll try to answer as many questions as we can, understanding that it's still an ongoing investigation.
My first question is, just talk a little bit about the message you have for the community about this arrest. I know you guys work together collaboratively. Talk a little bit about how this impacts the community now that these drugs are off the streets.
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, I'll give you an example. We hit this the other night after the scene was secure and after everything was safe. I'm walking through the neighborhood. It was a kind of a garden home type neighborhood, so there were a lot of houses right next to each other. And I'm walking back to my truck, and I'm leaving and going home, and there was a lot of neighbors out, and they were standing in their yard, and they were like, you know, we're scared. We didn't know this was going on. And I said, well, you're safer tonight than you were when you went to bed. You're safer now than when you went to bed. And they were like, thank you so much. And so there were multiple people that came out that were thankful that this is off the street and that house is no longer operating in their neighborhood. And that's just the whole point of this whole thing. One house at a time, one dealer at a time, we're trying to rid the community of this type of drug dealing and criminal element that makes it unsafe for the whole street that they live on.
And I know you talked about you had another search warrant over in Columbus. Do they own multiple addresses? Would you say that this is maybe tied to gangs? Does Russell County have a gang issue, or this has nothing to do with gangs?
I mean, I'm not going to comment on the gang side of it. I will, you know, if the sheriff wants to comment on the charge that was in Columbus earlier. I believe it's a situation where they were popped over there with a search warrant. They moved over here thinking it was going to be a better scenario, and then they got popped over here too. So I believe that's what it was.
Right, and I'm not going to go too much into it because our investigation is still an open investigation. It's a fluid investigation, and this is just the tip of it. But I know that the sheriff is going to be limited in what he will say and what I will say too. But at the end of the day, I think it's good especially for the citizens of Russell County, to know that even when the neighbors said that they were afraid, that they saw their sheriff. And that speaks a lot to the citizens of Russell County, of what type of sheriff that they actually have, that they have a hands-on sheriff. And so it's always good to work with a sheriff that understands not only what the problem is, but to also understand the solution.
You said that this is a significant operation for the area. Is the area where this happened an area that normally has trouble, or do you find that there's more often cases where, like you said, people have no idea what's going on?
Well, I think the area in this particular case is not a real high, crime area. I think that there was these people moved into this neighborhood, and there's calls there. There's some domestic violence there, as would any subdivision these days. But I don't think that they were aware that this was going on, and I think that that's what we're finding more and more. They try to move into quieter subdivisions that don't have a whole lot of attention brought on them, so that they can get away with something and not be noticed, and that's what you have in this particular case, in my opinion. the neighborhood is pretty quiet, and they thought they were going to be able to go unnoticed.
Thank you.
Are they getting charged in both states?
They have been charged in Columbus, and now they're charged with trafficking in Alabama. So I think they have pending trafficking charges in both states.
And what jail are they in? What jail are they in?
They're in the Russell County Jail.
And how long, if you can mention, have you guys been investigating these two people?
The investigation's been ongoing for some time. I don't want to talk about a specific time, but we have been working with Muscogee County for a period of time on these guys.
Did anybody else live at the house?
Just his brother that was charged, both of them were charged.
So the two people that live in the house were both in jail?
Yep,
And the arrests were without any incident?
that's correct.
Is it the same charges for both brothers?
Yes. And we have photos for you for both of them that you can photograph.
And do they have a previous history of crime or arrest?
They both have previous arrests, yes.
Everything you seized in the house, of course, is here on the table today.
Yep.
No fentanyl, or will these items go back to be tested for that?
Well, all of these will be sent to, all of what was seized will be sent to the lab. I'm not aware of any fentanyl that was seized in this case, but you never know what was laced when you come back from the lab, what was actually potentially laced with it, so we'll see.
How much is this worth?
Did they put a street value on here? It would be, multiple thousands of dollars. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to figure it out what it is, but it's multiple thousands.
Was it in these packages when y'all found it?
Yep. It was vacuum sealed, just like you see it. This was seized from the residence, which is the vacuum sealer. So you can see that's how they were distributing.
You may not be able to answer this question, but would you say, do you know how they got this marijuana? Would you say an international connection played a role in how they got this amount and how it made it here to Alabama?
We definitely believe that they have a source outside of the state, and we believe that that's part of what we're still looking into and how, what direction we're looking now. But certainly we believe that came in from another state.
Are they from the area originally, or is this they moved into this area just to do this?
I think they've been here for some time, either in Columbus or Phenix City. I appreciate it, and if there's anything else that stems from this case, we will certainly let y'all know. Thank you very much.
Thank you.